From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Woodard. Daryl Clark has the evening off. Our top story tonight at around 1:30 this afternoon, Fairbanks police were seen conducting an operation in the railroad industrial area off Phillips Field Road. A caller said that officers had used a battering ram to get into a building there. The officers and police vehicles were seen at 1514 Wells Street. According to borough property records, the building is owned by the Alaska Railroad and was leased to an individual. Officers on scene said they couldn't say anything about the operation at the time. City Public Information Officer Amber Courtney said city police were assisting another agency in the operation. She said evidence was seized, no one was harmed, and no arrests were made. Trial of a North Pole man accused of over 20 felonies wrapped up this afternoon. The fate of Alan Hughes now rests in the hands of a 12-person jury after 2 weeks of testimony. Hughes is accused of 27 counts of sexual abuse of a minor. Prosecutors say Hughes abused 3 different juveniles for years and even went as far as to force them to have sex with each other for practice. Multiple witnesses took to the stand, including Hughes himself. Now the 3 children, now teenagers, all testified about the abuse and what they say became routine. Today, in closing arguments, the defense had one last shot to plead their case. They came out strong, calling all 3 victims liars with ulterior motives.
Those children are liars, and that is even according to the state's theory. Those children lied at their interviews in 2011, if you believe the state's theory. Those children lied to the troopers, often lied repeatedly. They know how to lie to authority, and children do that, and teenagers do that.
They became routine because he did them over and over again. In this case, Alan Hughes gave them that complete understanding for his own purpose.
An Anchorage man has pleaded guilty to reduced charges in a sexual abuse of a minor case as part of a deal with the state. 40-year-old Matthew Stefanich appeared in Fairbanks Superior Court this afternoon. Stefanich was facing 12 charges, including sexual abuse of a minor, possession of child pornography, and exploitation of a minor. He was accused of exploiting a child in his care. Authorities say they found videos of the assault on electronics recovered during an investigation. In exchange for a deal, Stefanich pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault. Also, as part of the deal, Stefanich will be sentenced to 50 years jail time, with 20 of those years suspended. Now, we spoke to family members of the victim this afternoon who say they feel victimized as well because they trusted Stefanich to care for the minor, the victim he abused.
I kind of try not to think about it too much. Kind of do my day-to-day with the rest of my children. It was heartbreaking right at first, and I had a lot of hate and a lot of disgust also. I was scared when I first found out because I didn't know exactly what happened. So I got a little bit of the story and then found out a lot more, and it was really painful for the entire family.
Doyon Limited will be drilling a 3rd oil and gas exploration well in the Nenana-Minto Basin. The project is set for summer 2016, but permit filing, road construction, and contract finalization still need to be carried out before the process begins. Doyon CEO Aaron Schutt says there's a 50% chance the new site, located around 7 miles west of Nenana, will yield producible gas fields. Now, the claims are based on recent tests and seismographic models, which show promising geographic structures in the area. Schutt says the true potential of the well is difficult to assess until it's been tapped, but he remains optimistic that it could become an energy source for interior Alaska.
If we're lucky enough to find gas, this will be the closest gas source to the communities here in the interior. In Nunivak number 2, you'll notice that there was also propane and other heavier gas elements in the Nunivak number 2, and were we to find a commercial source there, we'd probably distribute that down the river system.
All right, when we come back today, Chancellor Brian Rogers addressed a local service organization about his upcoming retirement, and we'll tell you what he said. Also, it's time for another edition of Backyard Barbecue. Tonight, we'll show you how to cook a portobello hamburger. And of course, Mike Schultz will be live at the fair. These stories and more when we come back. Welcome back. In 2 weeks, one person will be retiring from his current job after 7 years from the University of Alaska Fairbanks. That individual is current Chancellor Brian Rogers, and today he spoke to the Downtown Fairbanks Rotary Club. Rogers stated he was proud of what his administration had accomplished during his 7 years as the Chancellor. Rogers will be replaced by Mike Powers, former Chief Executive Officer for Fairbanks Memorial Hospital. The two spoke later about achievements and upcoming challenges.
As I look back over the last 7 years, I'm really proud of the people at UAF. I think we've made a difference for thousands of students. We've brought new research into the world. We've connected better with the Fairbanks community and the broader world community.
Clearly the biggest challenge right now is the budget and ensuring the continued success that Chancellor Rogers created over the last 7 years with the collapse of oil prices. And ensuring that same attention to quality and research.
It's time once again for Backyard Barbecue. Today, Steve shows us how to cook up a mushroom burger.
Hi, Steve Moody here for another segment of Backyard Barbecue. Today we're going to do some portobello mushroom burger for you. So you want to take your portobello mushrooms, and you want to scrape all the gills out of there. And pull the stem out also. You want to take some melted butter. And you're just going to run it through the melted butter to just coat it real good. I like to start upside down. Add a little black pepper. Some garlic. And then I just use a little bit of rub. Mix it in real good. I use the foil to keep it from touching any meat surfaces that are in your smoker. And about halfway through, you want to pull it, flip it over. Baste it again. And then you have a nice meaty mushroom burger that you can serve to your vegetarian friends. You can check out all of our recipes today at webcenter11.com.
And we'll laugh and be happy at the Backyard Barbecue.
Brought to you by Big Daddy's Barbecue.
That looked really good. All right, it's time to go out to the Tanana Valley Fair once again with Mike Schultz, and tonight he's talking with Ann Weaver from the Community Food Bank. Mike.
Boy, that portobello burger looked good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Oh my goodness.
I am here with one of the most vibrant people I know. She is such a hard worker at the food bank, and tonight is your night.
It is, and oh my goodness, what a beautiful evening.
It worked out good.
It did. You did a good job.
I never take credit for the weather.
That's probably a good thing.
Let's tell people about what tonight, how special tonight is for you guys, and what it means to you guys.
So this is the evening we'll have about probably somewhere around 15 to 18,000 pounds of food coming in one night, thanks to the Alyeska Canned Food Day and the Tanana Valley State Fair partnership. And we also have an extra sponsor this year. We have Alaska Airlines.
Oh, great.
That's why you do that selfie with Glenn Hackney and you put it up on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And so we've got a whole bunch of big people coming together and really supporting an awesome event.
You know, I read the other day on the internet that a lot of food banks in the lower 48 are having trouble. But you know what? It never happens in Fairbanks because we have such a great community that comes forward every year and just supports incredibly.
It's this community that really makes this really rich. You know, if it wasn't for all of you watching, there's no way that the community would do this. We served 32,000 different people last year, one can at a time.
And it all happens with the volunteers you've got.
That's exactly it. We had 1,800 volunteers come in this last year, 20,000 volunteer hours. I mean, there's no other community that has that.
So come to the gate, bring 4 cans of food.
4 cans, $3, or $2 for kids.
And give it to the hardworking folks of the 168th out there.
Yes, that 168th. They have been packing those boxes for a couple decades now. Oh my goodness, they're hard workers. And then if you want to, come to the Fairbanks Community Food Bank booth, and that's where you can take your selfie with Glenn. We can still enter to win. Tonight's the last night to enter to win those Alaska Airlines tickets. So hey, get yourself over to the food bank booth.
Thanks a lot, Ann.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with weather and some special guests later on.
I need to take my selfie with Glenn. All right, a former Nanakan Olympian comes a step closer to making the U.S. team. Also, we finish our high school football team previews with the Eielson Ravens. These stories and more after the break with Joe Cook in sports.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here with your local Thursday Sportscast. Former Nanack and three-time Olympic medalist Matt Emmons increased his stock to make another U.S. Olympic team. Yesterday, Emmons earned a silver medal at the men's prone event at the International Shooting Sports Federation World Cup in Gababala, Azerbaijan. His score is 628.3 points, gave him his fourth World Cup medal this season. He is in a good position to make the U.S. team. The U.S. Olympic team nominations will be submitted next month. The 2016 Olympic Games will be in Rio de Janeiro. The Hutchinson Hawks had one of their own sign a national letter of intent on Wednesday evening. Daniel Page signed to play for the Yellowstone Christian College Centurions in Billings, Montana. Page leaves this Sunday. He intends to major in broadcast journalism. Page is the fifth Hutchinson athlete to sign a national letter of intent and the second signing from the boys basketball team. Page averaged 12 points per game for the Hawks, who advanced to the state tournament for the second time in 4 years last season. The cool thing about the Yellowstone program is that they will be playing their very first year of basketball at the school, which is in the National Christian Collegiate Athletic Association.
When I decided to go with this one because it fit better money-wise, and I was looking forward to going to a Christian college because that's how I was brought up throughout my life as Christian. It is a newer program, and they asked me to be a part of it, and I'm willing to do that. And there's not very many big guys in it. They do have a few that are quite big, quite bigger than me. I would probably be one of the smaller players on the team, if not the smallest player. But I'm looking forward to it.
In the 2015 Interior High School volleyball season is exactly 1 week away. Teams will be in non-conference action next Thursday night. In the MAC Conference, the West Valley Wolfpack returns Stella Knox, Ruthie Hebert, and Kaya Campbell. The Wolfpack come in with 6 straight conference titles. North Pole and Lathrop will be in contention this season as well. The Patriots met West Valley in the MAC final a season ago. The Monroe Rams, they will try to duplicate a special season. Last year, they went 19-0 in the regular season and finished as the 3A state runner-ups. Emily Pfister, Giselle Hollis, and Kiana King will be the big three for them. Hutchinson lost a slew of talented seniors from last year, and they're in a bit of a rebuild. Allison, Delta, and Galena make up the rest of the Aurora Conference. The first game of the 2015 season will be between the Lathrop Malamutes and Monroe Rams at Boileau Hall at 7 p.m. next Thursday night. Last but not least, we end our high school football team previews with the defending small school state champion Eielson Ravens. They're not resting on their laurels this season. Here's more. The Eielson Ravens come into the season in the crosshairs of their opponents. Eielson completed a perfect season running the table and winning the small school state title. However, they don't want to get caught up in the hype of a title defense.
We don't start on top of the mountain. We get down there with everybody else, and we fight and claw and scrap our way to the top. You know, we've got 7 seniors this year, you know, and most of those guys were on that 2012 team as freshmen, and then they saw kind of that drop in 13. And I think they're really aware that they don't want that type of thing to happen. If we're beat by a better team, we're beat by a better team, but they don't want it to be because we didn't do the things that we can control.
The Ravens return a solid core of players from last year, but arguably one of the best backs in state history, Anthony Griffith, graduated. So how do you replace the state record holder in most yards in a game? By committee. Seniors Andrew North, Caleb Velez, and Caleb Dunlap will carry the load this year.
When our line opens our gaps, it's our job to burst through the gap and make sure we get to the end zone, or just bust people's legs or something. We just have to make sure we push ourselves till we get to the end zone.
Defensively, Eielson has all the confidence in the world. Antonio Griffith is one of the top players in the secondary. Dunlap will lead the linebacking crew, while Chris Kilpatrick and Dylan Scarborough will patrol the line.
This year, we're really about swarm and punish, like 11 helmets on one man. I think we're looking really good. We had a practice the other day. It was pretty sound. The coach said it was better than offense that day, so that was good to hear.
We watch a lot of film. We try and learn all their plays. We have to recognize what they're going to do. We call it out, and we just work out here and try and get better.
The Ravens begin their 2015 campaign Friday night at home against the Thunder Mountain Falcons. Joe Cook reporting. This Friday night will be very special. Alaska will hold the very first high school football games in the entire country. And that's it for sports tonight. Thanks for watching. Mike Schultz is up next with weather after the break, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back to Tanana Valley State Fair. Mike Schultz with you once again, and thanks to Alaska Fuel Services for sponsoring our weather. And I am surrounded by some lovely young ladies who are part of the fair. And your name is Sahai, right?
Yes.
And you're Amelia.
Yes.
And you're Aaliyah.
Yes.
Wow, I can't remember. I remember those names. All right, now you guys are all here because your mom and dads are part of the. They have booths here, don't they?
Yeah. Yes.
What is your booth?
Hot dog a la carte.
Okay.
Birch Grove Studios pottery.
And?
Spinach bread.
And real quickly, what's your favorite part of the fair here? What's your favorite thing?
The rides.
It's unanimous. It's the rides. Okay, girls. Well, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the fair. Don't forget the fireworks Saturday night.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about the weather right now. Let's take a look at our photograph for tonight. And this photograph was sent in by Diana Pierce. It's called Salmon Watching because there's a couple of bald eagles there checking out the salmon below. I'm getting ready to feast on them. Again, thanks to Diana. And as always, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos at ktvf11.com. We are getting some great photos this year. Don't forget our calendar will be coming out later on this year too. Here's your conditions right now. 55 for the high day, the low last night 45. The record high 88 in 1926, 32 in 1969 for the record low. Sunrise and sunset about 16 hours and 48 minutes. That's a loss of another 7 minutes from yesterday. And here's today's satellite picture and radar. As you can see, not a whole lot going on across the interior. The showers are diminishing. Clouds are still moving across the central portion of the state. And across southeast Alaska, skies have cleared out there too. On the big picture, looking at our state map, and we'll see that we're looking at temperatures that are very cool across southeast Alaska. They're rising nicely though. 68 at Ketchikan and just sunshine for once. Partly cloudy skies at Anchorage, 69. There's a few showers around the Kodiak Islands, 61. 56 at Cold Bay, cloudy skies up and down the west coast. Bethel at 60. 51 at Nome, and cloudy skies at Barrow, 47. While Fort Yukon also cloudy skies and 59 degrees. In the lower 48, warm temperatures once again over the Pacific Northwest. 83 at Seattle. Look at Billings, 96 degrees. 95 at Salt Lake City and Denver. 98 at Dallas, but Phoenix 114 degrees, Las Vegas 103, 80s elsewhere across the country, and fairly quiet for the most part. A few showers and thunderstorms over the deep south. Another hot day in New Orleans, 96 degrees there, and 88 and 89 degrees in Atlanta. Now, what's going on as far as the satellite and radar? Well, we have a little bit of activity moving across the northern plains, also across the deep south. Otherwise, most of the country looking pretty good. More showers breaking out in the afternoon hours across the southwest, and a few showers, like I said earlier, over the Seattle area. Tomorrow, it's going to be hot from Bismarck, North Dakota, all the way to Kansas City, Kansas, and Minneapolis. The hottest temperatures near Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 100 to 105 degrees is going to feel like. Wow, we don't need that, that's for sure. And as far as the outlook for the weekend, well, the jet stream will remain way to the north. That'll allow all the warm air to come up from the south and just about saturate everybody with heat and humidity and maybe some strong storms across the northern plains. Well, back to Alaska. For the northern sections, rain showers for Barrow, cloudy skies at Nome, and also cloudy skies in Fort Yukon with a high tomorrow of 63 at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, scattered showers for Delta and Healy, mostly cloudy skies for Fairbanks, and temperatures close to 70 degrees. Across southeast Alaska, lots of sunshine expected for Juneau, and also at Ketchikan with temperatures near 70. And over southwest part of the state, rain for Cold Bay, partly cloudy skies in Bethel, and also at Kodiak. And across the south central sections, looks pretty good. Scattered clouds across the entire region. Well, it is a Thursday night, right? So we're going to talk about a fishing report real quickly for the folks from LifeMed. Salmon fishing is really good across the entire state. And we're also talking about temperatures that will be really good for going out and catching those salmon, all the way from the Mat-Su Valley down to the Kenai Peninsula and over to the Prince William Sound area. Our forecast for tonight, 50 degrees, cloudy skies, a few sprinkles, otherwise continued cool. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, but warmer temperatures near 70 degrees. And the extended forecast, a good weekend coming up, Saturday and Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some showers. But temperatures cooling down to near 60 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday. And overnight lows, once again, really struggling to get to near 50 degrees. It's a great night here. Like I said, it takes 4 cans of food, and you'll get $3 plus gets you into the fair. Lots of great things to see and do, obviously, and especially check out the Borealis Pavilion. That's got some really interesting things. Back to you, Stephanie.
And Joe.
Yeah,
all right, that will wrap up this edition of the Fbx Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the death toll in a huge explosion in China has now killed more than 50 and injured dozens. That's next with Lester Holt.
All right, join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11, or of course online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.